Shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. And shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,001 third. Whoever you are across the four corners of the earth, may peace and blessings be upon you and your households as we approach the end, Lord willing, soon as possible, or sooner rather than later. Okay, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai is, putting in that work, man. This place is falling apart, piece by piece, like a house of cards. But the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai wants to make the end very climactic, very poetic. Hence the reason why this house of cards, which we are in, of Babylon, these training grounds for the elect spiritually, physically, and mentally, this punishment is almost at an end for the elect of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, and those of that stock, that royal stock of the Israelites, the Israelite foreigners that are scattered to the four corners of the earth. And I happen to be one of those Israelite foreigners. Nevertheless, the Lord wants to make this a very poetic end. Okay, and that poetic end will be the nuclear missiles. Okay, 200 million warheads hitting Ground Zero Babylon, America, and also the 1948 land, the ISH land, the JOO ISH land. Okay, that'll be hit as well. All right, and those nukes are coming. Okay, we've got a couple of prophecies to go. Jacob's trouble, Revelation 13:16. The mark of the BEAST, the the micro CHIP. Okay, and then World War III, Revelation 11:14. Okay, now this house of cards is being pulled apart. The Lord is still keeping the house of cards standing, but it's blowing in the wind right now before the Lord Yahweh Shemashah just knocks it down completely. Like a child builds a sand castle and build it, put in all the work to build it. It might take half the day. The child might start 9 o'clock in the morning and finish the beautiful sand castle by, 12 o'clock, 1 p.m. Right? And what's that child going to do when he gets, bored of it? He's had his fun with that sandcastle. He's going to knock it down. Okay, the same way this world, this kingdom is being knocked down. The Lord's going to knock this place down, man. Okay, let's go to the definition of climax. Climax is the most intense, exciting, or important point of a story, situation, or experience, typically occurring near the end. Excuse me. It serves as a major turning point, acting as the peak of action or emotion, such as in a dramatic plot or the culmination of an event. Okay, right. So that part, when the nukes hit, the elect will be in the chariots watching this. Live and living color, as they say, right? Jake says all the time, and live and living color, right? It's blatantly going to be there. The Lord, you'll be standing beside the Lord, His Majesty Yahweh Shai, Brakti Yahweh Bashem Shai, watching this magnificent view from the chariots, seeing America on fire. You might look at it from the chariots. Oh, wow, look! Oh, that's that state where I grew up in. That's where I was born. Oh, New York is gone. Dawada Yahweh Bashem Shai. LA is gone. Colorado is gone. Oh, JOO land is finished. Tel Aviv is gone, the Mo land, right? And obviously there's many. Well, the nukes is definitely the climactic part. Let's see if there's anything else I can read from there. Okay, 1 second. And the curtains are down for this kingdom, man. The show is over. Okay, in this theater, of Babylon, this show is over. All the freedom that you women enjoyed, all the freedom that you Jakes, you 2/3 Jakes, or you unelect Jakes enjoyed on this side. When I say Jake, I'm talking about the Jacobites, the Israelites that enjoyed on this side, right? Being spoiled with all the junk food and free money that was being thrown your way. All these things are being shut down now. On May Day as well, right? Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Don't they say that? Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. When a plane is about to crash, that's because your plane of Babylon is about to crash. It's Mayday. Okay? is it? All right. Curtains down or the curtain comes down is a theatrical phrase signaling the final end of a play, show, or performance. It traditionally refers to the main stage curtain being lowered to block the audience's view, allowing actors to take their final bow or for the production to conclude. Okay? This is the final bow. Well, Esau ain't gonna really, but well, they actually, you know what? They will be bowing. They're the real bowers. That's spiritual in itself. They're going to take their final bow, right? Actually, not final bow. Well, final bow on this side. But these Edomites will be bowing in the kingdom. The Rothschilds, their real surname Bauer, right? Their real surname is Bauer. They're going to be bowing in the kingdom for real. Okay? They're going to be bowing. This is the final show. It's curtains coming down now. They've had their fun. They had their time. You know, they built up the desolate places, loosely paraphrasing scripture. Esau, Edom did. Well, obviously, they didn't really directly do it. We built it. But nevertheless, they enjoyed the fruits of our labor. We built their homes. We built their mansions. We built the White House. We built all the inventions, all the slick hip talk, all the fashions, all the car styles, all the hairstyles, you know, all the foods, all the sauces, all the liquors, all the wines, you know, everything, all the inventions. Okay. American history is basically Israelite history in America, in captivity. Okay. Now the curtain is coming down on this MFA. All right. But a lot of you Israelites don't know. You're going to find out the hard way. I was watching Spirit Airlines. I made a video on it yesterday. Okay. This place is falling apart. Banks are shutting down. Stores are shutting down. Okay. People are pushing you to purchase online, stopping the traffic on the high street. They entice you by saying, okay, if you purchase online, you're going to get 10% off. If you buy physically from a store, you're not going to get that 10%. So what's that increasing? More people sitting at home. More people not being out and about. You know? Airlines shutting down. Okay, a lot of you Jakes, I was watching a couple of snippets of videos of different Jakes complaining about this spirit thing. One Jake was like 60 years old. He was in 2 years' time, he was about to retire. But he's saying that he's got to start from zero, start from scratch now. Okay, and then obviously the guy was 60 years old and he bought a new house. I thought 60, you bought a new house at 60. I mean, see, you know, that kind of move you're supposed to make around about when you're about 35, 40. You know, at 60, if you're paying rent, you should just carry on paying. I don't know. It's up to him. You know, it's his life, right? You know, and there's another woman complaining that she's got 8 kids. Who's going to pay for them? Who's going to pay the bills? And Spirit Airlines is in, I believe, in Miami, Florida, which is a stronghold of Israelites there. All the 12 tribes are there, right? And that you know, that's going to affect the back pocket of who? The money side of who? Is the Israelites. All right, you know, a lot of Jakes are going to come into some hard times, man. All right, so we're seeing the curtains close in this place. Curtains down, or the curtain comes down, is a theatrical phrase signaling the final end of a play, show, or performance. Okay, and this is where we're at. We're watching the final show of Esau Edom's performance. Esau Edom being the so-called white man. Okay, let's go to a list of airlines that are shutting. Since we're on the spirit of airlines, Spirit Airlines. Excuse the pun. All right. Now, Spirit Airlines, that's 2026. Iceland, 2019. Kingfisher Airlines, India, 2012. FIRS, India, 2023. Monarch, United Kingdom, 2017. Flybe, United Kingdom, 2023. And remember, all these people, all right, are losing their jobs as well. And if airline after airline after airline is shutting, they're probably in the next job for maybe like a year, 2 years before they get let go of again. And this is going to keep happening. There's going to be a point in time where there's going to be no jobs. And then what's going to be that calling for a lot of you people that want to hold on to this world, right? It's going to be the micro C-hip. It's going to be like a light at the end of that dark tunnel for a lot of you heathens, non-Israelites, and the unelect. Okay. Now, there was a news. Spirit Airlines canceled all flights and is going out of business at CNN. That's 4 days ago. We already done that. There was it was that video, man. Not video. It was that. Was this the one? Oh, yeah. 8 major. Oh, yeah. This is the one. Let's go here first. See what they say. Come on, it's taking so long to get to it now. It's taking its fine time, isn't it? Anyways, I found it. 8 major airlines collapse into administration with holidays cancelled. Full list. Okay, the age of mirth is over. No more mirth, no more fun. Okay, it's not going to be fun until your daddy takes a T-bird away. Ain't gonna, I'm quoting the Beach Boys, which are a bunch of heathens anyway, but it came to mind. That song, you're not gonna, it's focusing on Edomites. You Edomites are not gonna have, the luxury lifestyle you had, man. All right, you're not gonna have that no more. You're not gonna have your trust funds. You're not gonna have, your easygoing lifestyle. Where you have fun in college, right? And then you finish college and you go straight into a management role. Then from management role, before you hit 30, you're in a directorship. You're right in a C-suite role or something. That days are over, man. Those days are over for you Edomites, especially Edomite women. Now you're suffering. Now you're catching the heat. Okay, and now going on a holiday. If there's any airlines left, right, a couple are probably left for the elites or people that have money or people that take the charagma in the future, which is around the corner. Charagma meaning the micro C-hip, Revelation 13:16, is going to be available for you. Okay, or before that's implemented, it's going to be like, let's just say it's $500 or £500 for traveling to another country, right? That price might go to £10,000 or $10,000 for a flight. So the holiday era of holidays and going holidays once or twice a year is going to be over for a lot of people, which means what? Every action has a reaction. It's going to affect tourism. It's going to affect demand, supply and demand. It's going to affect the shops and stores and restaurants of these tourist destinations like Spain, Greece, Italy, Goa and India, right? Delhi, Bombay, those cosmopolitan parts of India. India has some nice parts, by the way, even though Esau Edom has effed up India for 300 years, stolen everything from it. But nevertheless, parts of Africa, beautiful countries in Africa, or the tourist destination, it's going to affect them. Every action has a reaction. The place is done, all right? I can go on and on and on. You just got to think about it. Every action has a reaction. Galatians 6 verse 7. You reap what you sow, Esau Edom. You're gonna go out with a bang, literally. All right. Is it Revelation? No, Galatians 6 verse 7. You reap what you sow, right? Let me go to my phone. I've quoted it. I just want to make sure that I quote the right scripture. Lord forbid I quote the wrong scripture and just paraphrase something, incorrectly. Galatians 6 verse 7. It's definitely the reap what you sow scripture. It's got to be, right? Yeah. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. Okay, let me read it again correctly. Be not deceived. The Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahshua, is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That's Galatians 6 verse 7. You crackers, man, you're finished. You got a big tab that you got to pay. We don't want no MFing dollars or pounds or euros or all these dumbass jakes out there wanting reparations. Stupid people, right? Stupid people, dumbasses, of the highest order, right? We want Esau Edoms, I'm gonna quote that Jake from was it Blood In Blood Out or America? Is it American Me? Was it Blood In Blood Out? Blood In Blood Out, I think. Issacharite Jake, the one who's in prison. He goes, I don't want his food. They're referring to a pork chop in the movie, but obviously, we don't eat that bullshit. But the quote he said, he goes, I don't want his food, so-called food or whatever, right? He goes, I don't want his food, I want his life. When he grabbed the apple, he said, I want that Edomite gone. We want these Edomites in subjection, man. We want them gone and under subjection. All right? We want their BLOOD. We want chains around their neck. We want them under our feet. That's the reparations we're going to get. That's how we are going to be repaired. Okay? That's reparations, right? The real repairing. Okay. This is from Birmingham Live, which is in the UK. 4th of May, 2026. All right. 8 major airlines collapse into administration with holidays cancelled. Full list. All right. And this is the UK, by the way. Yeah. This is, yeah. Okay, all the airlines that the vast majority of British travellers will fly on, including British Airways, EasyJet, Jet2, Ryanair, Virgin Atlantic, and Wizz Air. I've never heard of Wizz Air in my life. Are in good financial shape. Okay, they're in good financial shape. All the airlines that the vast majority of British travellers will fly on, including are in good financial shape. But eight airlines have gone bust with holidays and flights cancelled for UK holidaymakers. All the airlines that vast majority of British travellers will fly on. What is this? Is this it? But some airlines have been cutting flights and have other hiked. Well, this is how it's gonna be. When it's like a drought. When there's a drought of something, whoever's got the goods is going to amplify their prices or increase it so they can make some more money. But some airlines have been cutting flights and others have hiked fares to cope with the cost increases. At the same time, the head of the International Energy Agency, IEA, has warned Europe could run out of jet fuel in as little as 6 weeks. All right. And this race war is going to kick off as well, man. You've got Edomites, right, saying that Spirit Airlines shut down because of the so-called usual suspects when they haven't even touched on the fuel aspect yet. So, you got a lot of agents, AI videos, a lot of actors, agent provocateurs trying to, heighten the emotions of people so this thing can pop off. Jeremiah 30, verse 7, which is Jacob's trouble, right? They said 8 airlines are shutting. So let me see. All right. I mean, as mentioned, there's going to be a couple of airlines still open until it completely shuts down. The Lord's doing this really poetically. The latest affected is Spirit Airlines, which is shutting down after failing to secure $500 million, which is £368 million bailout from the Trump administration. But Trump can make, was it a ballroom or something he made near the White House? All right. I quoted Jeremiah 30, verse 7. I just want to make sure that's correct. It's Jacob's trouble, right? Jeremiah 30, verse 7, KJV. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Jacob's trouble is designed for you heathens and you 2/3 and you unelect Jakes, man. All right, and it's going to be hot and heavy when all hell pops off. And the Lord Yahweh Shem Yashai has got his chariots ready, And the brother made a video, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Most of the chariot sightings have been over America and the UK. Why? America and UK are freaking brother and sister, man, of wickedness. They have destroyed the world, man. The head office is the UK, of course, and all these crackers went from here in other parts of the world, these Edomites, conquering America and destroying it. All right? Most of the chariot sightings are over here in the West, the wild, wild West. America and the UK. And most of the elect are here in the West. Obviously, we're everywhere else too, but, there's a good portion here in the West. Ascend Airways operating flights in the UK has collapsed into liquidation. That's one. Okay, let's see what else is available. An insider told The Sun it's gone bust today. All right, okay. Spirit Airlines, Blue Islands. All right, Blue Islands, based in the Channel Islands with regular links to English airports, has grounded all of its aircraft after going bust. Eastern Airways also went bust in October last year. Oh, shit. Okay. I'm not going to read all the, extra information. We just want to know what's going down. Play Airlines was folding in September, right? EcoJet, Royal Air Philippines. Yeah, a lot of people are being refunded their money, man. All right. Dove Airlines. What else is there? Well, there's a good portion of airlines shutting. All right. There's some are left, some are not. And ultimately, even if all these airlines shut, half them don't, the other half that are still open and operating, they're probably owned by the same damn company anyway, same people anyway. The powers that be, man. Anyway, let's go to some scriptures, man. All right. The mirth of the land is gone. This place is done, man. All right. Okay. Isaiah 24 and 11. One second. Okay, let's go to Isaiah 24 and 8. The mirth of tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. Okay, there's no joy no more, there's no mirth, there's no excessive laughter, right? None of that's happening no more. Even house parties and family get-togethers have been stopped in the UK. Why? Because we've got these parking bays on each street where you've got to purchase like a parking permit. You've got to purchase permits for parking on the street, so guests coming over can't park up outside your house like they used to. All right, even if you have a driveway, cars can't park up in any kind of gap in the street. Like back in the 80s and 90s, families would come over, 100 people in the house, jumping up and down, dancing, drinking. That's how it used to be in our house back in the day, in the 80s and 90s when I was a child. Jake gets busy like that. Drinking, my dad and that, drinking that with his brothers, cousins, cooking lamb or chicken, spicing it up, cooking the naan bread and the flatbread and all that, drinking and eating, music popping off, children playing soccer at the back in the garden, all these things are gone. There's none of that happens no more. None of that happens no more. People don't visit each other no more. All right, all this shit is ended. People just like to just lock themselves in the room, and that's that. All right. The mirth of tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. All right, music and all that. There's no joy in the music no more. I mean, look at the music is trash anyway. That's why a lot of people still what? They big up the old school stuff. Me personally, I like the 50s stuff, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, hip hop to Motown. Shit, I even like Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett's a Jake anyway. That's an Italian Jake. It's southern, more than likely Southern Kingdom. Even Frank Sinatra. He looks like a cracker, but his mother's Northern Italian. That's why he's got them blue eyes and that pale flesh. But he's Jake. His father's Sicilian. That joy, that laughter. That and also romance. Love is dead as well. I'm damn near 50 years old. I remember in my 20s, there were couples everywhere, man. There were pretty girls everywhere. There were pretty girls at bus stops, buses. You'd go to a certain store or a supermarket to check out that pretty girls. Maybe if you saw one, you'd try and talk to her. You don't even see that no more. You see nothing but old fat ladies everywhere. I said, what the hell's going on? I don't know about how you Jakes are in the other parts of the world, but where I'm at, yeah, you do see them. But I guess a lot of people keep staying indoors these days. So there's anomalies about, but it's not like how it used to be. All right, especially when I was a young man. All right, the mirth of the tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song. They're not. All right, you don't see Edomites whistling in the morning. Like back when I was a child, waking up to go to school 6, 7 in the morning, you would always see an Edomite, with his farmer cap on, walking down the street with his hands in his pockets, whistling, and real clean whistling too. You can almost recognize a tune. You don't hear that no more. All right. They're drinking. I mean, there's no place to drink anymore. People are drinking in misery. People are drinking just to get drunk, just to forget about their sorrows. People are not drinking to heighten their happiness. People are trying to drink to drown their sorrows. They shall not drink with wine. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. Verse 11, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Let's go to the definition of mirth. I believe it means excessive laughter, but it's been a while since I've checked it out. One second. Definition of mirth. M-I-R-T-H. Mirth is a noun referring to amusement, high spirits, or merriment, especially when expressed through laughter and joy. Right? Excuse me there. Now, the elect, hope for elect, we laugh with joy and laughter, man. I'm pissed off, but then I'm laughing again maybe a minute or two later. You think about funny, you think about spiritual things. You think about the elders and prophets and some of the funny things they say when they're teaching. Righteous, pure things they say, but it's funny the way they say it because Jake got this beautiful spirit on him. You think about that. You think about the kingdom, you meditate upon it, you think about all the good things that are going to come, and you say, Brakti Habashim Ashat, the water for making me an Israelite, man. The water, Lord. You know? Yeah, man, come on, man. We're not with this world. Fuck this world, man. I hate this world. Every morning I wake up, I hate this. I just curse this place out. Fuck this. Salakia for the lingo, man. I'm just fed up of Esau's world, man. Brakti Habashim Ashat is falling. All right. Our world is coming, man. 2 Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, let's go to the book of Job. Which one is it? Oh yeah, I was going to go to 4:15, but it's 14. Salakia, it's 14 and 5. Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Esau, Edom cannot pass that threshold, that limit. Like you have a jug of water, right, and it can hold 1 liter or 1.5 liters, right? Right? Okay, it can't go beyond that point, can it? You can't keep pouring water into it, can you? Right? It has a limit. All right, and a loaf of bread, for the most part, has an expiration date. Expiration date, right? Okay. All right. We are at the concrete feet. Okay, in the book of Daniel, right? This is that final kingdom. We're not going to have no heathen rulership over us ever again. We're not going to have nobody telling us what to do again. A heathen, that is. Okay. All right. You're not going to ever have to have job interviews again with some cracker looking down at you. Some cracker telling you what to do. Some heathen telling you what to do. Some woman telling you what to do. We won't have to work again in the kingdom. Okay. This kingdom has an expiration date. There are bounds that these crackers cannot pass. All right. Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. And the next scripture I'm just going to paraphrase. 2 Ezra 6 verse 9. And that scripture every Jake should have in their mind, man. Spiritually, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. Our world is coming. This world is ending. The so-called white man's world is ending. Our world is coming. Okay? Our world is coming for eternity, the real Eternia. Okay? We're the real Eternians. Is it Eternians? Like He-Man, Eternia? We're those people. All right? Eternia is going to be for Jake. All right? We're the real Eternals in righteousness in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Not that bullshit movie called Eternals, where they show faggotry in it. None of that nonsense. That's Esau's left-hand side bullshit. That's what they want. All right? We're the real Eternals, the Israelites. All right? Everlasting life, right? That's eternity in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. 2 Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau, the so-called white man, is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All praises, honor, glory, and blessings and power be to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yashai, B'Hashem Rakak Kodash, Mawatha Bad Babal, Kwam Yashral Shalom.